constructions industry still runs on PDFs, spreadsheets, and manual entry, and leaders who want better. So this session shares how LCO moved from talk to real results with AI. You'll see where to start when processes are messy, how to choose problems that matter, claims, estimating, controls, and how to avoid common traps. We'll cover the highs, lows, and lessons learned from LCO's story. Please welcome Pencho Chomakov, Chief Technology Officer at Sorry, Pencho, I'll start again. So Pencho is the Chief Technology Officer and Partner at Compass Analytics, and Patrick Habib, President of LCO.
Not the trip. Thank you. Thank you. Are we centered?
All right. Can you guys hear me? Perfect. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Pencho Chomakov, CTO here at Compass Data and AI. We at Compass help organizations grow, discover what data and AI can do for them. And to be fair, it's not an easy journey. Patrick is here to tell us all about it. And much like grief, we realized that AI has stages to itself, and it's something we're going to explore today. Today, we're going to talk about how the different commonalities amongst different companies happen to face when they do data and AI transformation. We have a first-hand example here with Patrick Habib from LCO Construction, who will walk us through his use cases and how he went from AI chaos to AI first. Patrick?
Thank you, Pencho. Thank you for the introduction. Let me give you a bit of background on what we do. LCO is a consultant firm for the construction industry. We touch with everything that has to do with money and time in the construction industry. We work on multi-billion-dollar projects all over the world, from infrastructure to residential to oil and gas, mining, aluminum. So we touch every aspect, whether it's from the estimating phase, through the project controls, and then finally the claims and litigation. So it was a very good challenge that we put onto Compass, and I'm looking forward to presenting to you the ups and downs. After you.
Awesome. So, first stage, chaos. Companies realize that it's not so easy to get into the AI world, but their executives are telling them, hey, where are your use cases? Why are you not using AI? Where's your data? What are you doing? Our competitors are already there. So maybe something we can ask about Patrick is, well, before meeting us at Compass, how was it like at LCO?
Oh. So first, let me tell you about our job, what we do. Like I mentioned just earlier, we deal with all phases of the project, estimating, project controls, closeouts. But we're always parachuted in to the project. People call us when it's in crisis. People call us when the contractor lost money or the owners delayed a few months on a project, and they're asking us for solutions. So, in order to provide a solution, we have to understand the data. And let me tell you, the different types of information we get is such chaos that you end up not sleeping at night. You know, every new mandate is a challenge. Every new mandate is an opportunity and an honor. But at the end of the day, like this beautiful slide says, I wake up in the middle of the night screaming like a little baby. So it's chaos.
Now, Patrick didn't hire us to fix his sleep problems, but we got in here and tried to help his organization grow. But let's talk about commonalities across organizations when they're in the chaos phase. You'll realize that your processes are still owned by people. Now you'll tell me, Pencho, of course, our companies are made of people, so processes are owned by people. Or you'll tell me, hey, we just implemented our new shiny ERP tool, so we're digitalized. But think about your ERP tool. You create a PO, that's one person. There's a new vendor, it's another person. And the third person needs to fill a form. So really, people are still very much in the loop. The second commonality we see is that it's difficult to scale people or humans. First, you need more managers. Second, you need to teach them. And third, you've probably seen that graph that every time you add a person to your team, the combination of relationships that you need to keep track of in your head explodes. So how do we summarize this? Volume of work increases, complexity increases, and as much as we will all say we don't like regulation, they're there for a reason, but they add complexity. And ultimately, our capacity to deal with that complexity at best goes linear. So processes break down, demand for speed increases. I'll give you an example. I'm just changing my doors and windows, and the contractors swore to me that they'll arrive in 8 weeks. And this time, I really needed them in 8 weeks because the federal subsidy would expire. At the 9th week, I started calling him. The 10th week, I started calling him, and so on and so forth. So you can imagine all these individual customers calling you. Your boss is asking for speed. Everyone wants more insights now. So the conclusion of stage 1, things are not good. Processes are cracking. Your people are burning out. They want to leave. They're tired. We used to think that manual labor is what makes humans tired. Now it's cognitive load. And organizations are desperately trying to find and need help. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel that starts to shine. We start reimagining. Organizations take a pause and leaders think, okay, but I can do better. My competitors are saying on LinkedIn that they're using AI. Why am I not using AI? So what can I do here? I start thinking as a leader, and that's where Patrick started dreaming, but not about crying, but about the future, about what is my North Star vision. And he built a blueprint. And as a second step, he also realized he needs to bring the right partner in, whether it's an external partner like us at Compass or building your own internal team. So Patrick, what was that process for you like? Tell us about it.
Well, I've been thinking about this for several years. You know, the information that we have is valuable. You know, a consulting firm has two things. It has people, and it has its data. We take care of our people first. We take care of their well-being. We take care of them financially. But at the same time, there's the data. Okay, the data is super valuable. And once we get information from the client, I started imagining, instead of treating it as a full-time job, basically 80% of our time was treating data, and only 20% was the analysis. I started imagining, what happens if I switch that around? 80% of our time analyzing data, providing solutions, putting 30 years of my experience in the construction industry, the 100 years of experience, hundreds of years of experience of my staff combined. How much value can we bring to our clients? That's what I started imagining. So I tried hundreds of softwares. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on software trying to figure out the proper solution. But none of them, whether it's Microsoft, Oracle, Autodesk, whatever, they don't work. They don't provide us with the solution that we wanted. So I started researching the internet. I started talking to colleagues, talking to friends, and two key people came into my life. Well, are in my life. My broker and my sister, who both recommended Compass. My sister used Compass, and they said, "Pat, you should meet this group of guys. They're amazing. They're fun. They're intelligent. They're efficient. You should meet with them. It might be well worth it." So I did. And I set up a meeting with Scott, Will, Pencho. We sat down. I told them my goals. I told them my vision. I told them where I wanted to go. And to my surprise, they absorbed my wired frame brain, you know. They absorbed the data. They absorbed what I wanted to do. They came back with a roadmap. They came back with a proposal, a scary proposal, to be honest. It is a substantial investment, but it provided me with hope on how can I meet my objective of transforming my analog company to a digitized company beyond Excel databases and SQL servers. So I'm happy we did it. I'm happy we're doing it. And they came up with a process on how we're going to do it. We were so proud of this process, I wanted to stick it up on my wall. And just the process itself is the key to the success of the company. Whether it's automated or not, I found that just that was money well invested. It was a revelation for me.
So really creating that North Star vision was what started all this process.
Yeah.
To becoming AI ready, it's really about sitting down and deeply thinking about where do I want my business to be next. Not how I want to do a marginal change, how do I change my business completely? And the next thing is that as you start imagining the future, new ideas of new businesses arise from your current business. Patrick just called me yesterday and said, hey, with what we're doing today, we could do this use case and tap into those clients that I had never a chance of getting into. So it's really this that the North Star vision brings in. Our North Star is defined. We're not talking AI for AI's sake. We're really beyond the buzz. We reimagine how value is created. And ultimately, we have this alignment from top to bottom, left to right amongst our employees in where we're going to get there. So really at this stage, hope and belief and a credible plan are key. And it's transformed what we call the data chaos into an investable journey. But here comes the data reality check. So, we just said data chaos. It's fun. We have this beautiful PowerPoint, this one-pager vision. We've shared it amongst the company. Everyone's bought into it. And then we open the hood of our car. There's no engine. Our data is not there. It's not cleaned up. It's riddled with quality issues. Our platforms are not there. They're old from the 90s. And we can't really do much with it. So Patrick, tell us about why didn't you deal with this before?
Why didn't I do this before? Well, you came to my office, right? Did you see the number of boxes? It's, we have boxes from the 1990s with multi-billion-dollar projects that were done out west for an oil and gas project. I don't know where the information is, so I kept the boxes. And I have hundreds of projects like that. Not to mention the server in the hundreds of folders. So I've been thinking about it for a while, right? And reorganizing the data was an overwhelming task. We were focused on serving our clients, making sure that everything was to the benefit of the client, and we put this to the side, But now we don't have a choice. We had to jump in, both feet in the pool. Once I met with Pencho, Pencho and Will and Scott, we put a plan together. We put a roadmap together. Everything started coming out together. But the reality of the data was, like I said, chaos. Excel spreadsheets that have merged cells. I don't know if it's a pet peeve of mine, guys. It's, once you want to sort, you want to play around with data, the data structure is all garbage. So the amount of effort that needs to put forth is monumental. So yeah, I was overwhelmed, and we put it to the side.
This is the moment where leaders realize they want AI, but then they haven't done the hard work. But the good thing is that now this gives them the motivation and the true push behind the back to actually get their data in order and start the real grind. It's where the heavy lifting begins, and it's where future value starts being visible. We have the AI strategy, we're building our foundation, and now we can start having fun. Here comes the proof of concept playland. This is my favorite part. Although most companies, they get stuck here, or are here right now. They're doing POCs, they're having fun, but they haven't done the right work beforehand, and they won't be able to scale, as we'll see right away. So now the data is flowing, we're experimenting. We have our North Star vision. Our teams have specific use cases driven by the business that can deliver value, and they start building. Executives are excited. Patrick doesn't scream at night and wake up, and now we can have actual real value generated.
Yeah.
But Patrick, for you, when did you know that AI was real this time? Was it just another buzz?
No. Everybody play with ChatGPT, So the first time it came out, I asked, how can I cook my chicken in the air fryer in the office and for it to come out juicy and moist? This is not the AI that we're talking about, right, Pencho? The AI came when I gave them the chaos information. Meaningless sets of data, meaningless spreadsheets, plans, handwritten notes. I gave it to these guys, and they came back with a structured, interconnected data that spoke volumes to me. That's when the chaos became a bit more clear, became clarity. It was an unbelievable moment. It was a small thing. You know, you're like, oh, that's not that. But then we looked at how they did it and what had to be done, how they read it, how they categorized. It was spectacular, and it was an aha moment for me.
It's all about the shiny sparks, and we saw it in Patrick's eyes. And he saw that value could be created, but we also saw that certain cracks existed. We didn't have the right tools in place, the right infrastructure. And this happens at a lot of companies. They create the POC, they launch it as a pilot. 100 users are using it. Great. Execs now say, scale it to 2,000. And then the IT teams, the governance teams, the security teams start looking at each other saying, well, we kind of put it together, but we never said it would work at scale. So POCs excite executives, but they're not products in themselves. And this is what's really important. Chaos becomes clarity, and in the construction business, that's gold.
Gold.
The scaling wall. So now pilots, enterprise wants to scale them. They're bringing the security team, all the teams together, but this is where they realize, even if they mustered the courage to build that POC, they don't have the muscle to go from experimentation to application. Patrick, I think we're really in this phase.
Yeah.
What are some of the tough decisions you had to make or you have to make right now?
Some of the choices that we had to make were short-term gratification or short-term objectives versus long-term objectives. So obviously, this is a substantial investment, okay, for anybody who decides to go into this type of venture. It's a necessary investment, but at the same time, you want to benefit from that. We chose not to benefit right away. We chose to build a solid foundation, just like any building that you're building. You have to have a solid foundation to move forward. So we chose the solid foundation so we could progress, and the benefits in the long term is going to demolish the short-term gains by simply setting up an ad hoc type of a service. You know, you want to create a production system into technology. So that was a bit of the hard choice, but a necessary choice.
It's a tough part here. The scaling wall is really where companies struggle, because now you have to integrate with your HR systems, your CRMs, your ERPs, and so on and so forth. And on top of that, your people, your processes, they're not used to data, they're not used to AI, they're not used to automation. So there's friction even within the company. They don't even know how to monitor what this new technology brings. So there's really two outcomes. Either the business flourishes, they love it, everything goes well, or we're back to chaos. And this is really tough because then companies get disheartened and don't want to innovate anymore. It's the make or break moment. But let's be more positive here. We've reached the final stage, the AI organization. We're past the scaling wall. AI has now become a mission-critical tool. It's no longer a toy. And I think for the case of LCO, we're almost there. This is a final step in really transforming your business from AI chaos to AI first. We don't have much time left, Patrick, but is there a message you would want to give to the rest of the Quebec business industry?
AI is not an option. It's a must. You know, it's not a good to have. It's a must-have. It's a necessary tool for transformation, and if you guys don't do it now, somebody else will. So one thing I would do, you have to be all in. You have to, no pun intended, but you know, you have to really be all in. It's a substantial investment. You move forward and you don't look back. The transformation that these guys could provide into transforming your business into an AI business is substantial. The benefits are substantial, and the future looks bright. There's another thing. Culture in the company is important. You have to believe the AI is the future of your business. So your culture needs to follow your mission. I have a mission to go forward, but I also have the people in the office need to realize that AI is the future. It's not going to replace their jobs. It's going to help them be more effective. They have to believe the system that we're going to put in place are going to be good. And finding the right partners, finally. It's key. And I appreciate it. I appreciate every moment I spent with them. It gives me a reason to wake up in the morning. Instead of being stressed, I'm excited. And I have fun every day with these guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Come see at our booth, number 44. We have some driving skills to test you on our F1 demo. Thank you again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So please be patient.